Hey fellas, if you're a man over 50, I want you to stop scrolling for just a minute. This might be the most important thing you'll hear all week, because let's be honest, no one really prepares us for what happens as we age. Energy starts to dip, the fire in the bedroom isn't quite what it used to be, and you start to wonder, is this just how it is now? I'm here to tell you it doesn't have to be, and that's why today we're diving into something powerful, something most men have never been taught. You're about to meet a man who's helped thousands of guys just like you, men who are feeling tired, frustrated, and disconnected from their bodies. His name is Dr. Luke Smith, and he's a legend. With over 30 years of experience, he's mastered natural, science-backed ways to restore circulation, performance, and vitality. No pills, no embarrassing clinic visits, no gimmicks, just real, powerful solutions that work with your body, not against it. He combines ancient wisdom from Chinese herbs to circulation-boosting rituals with modern science and male physiology, and the results, they speak for themselves. So I want you to do something right now. Stay locked in. Don't click away, because you're not just watching a video, you're stepping into a life-changing journey where you'll reclaim your strength, your confidence, and your manhood. And if this episode speaks to you, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, because every week we bring you powerful, natural advice to get your life back. Let's do this, gentlemen. Dr. Smith, take it away.
They laughed at him when he said herbs could outperform pills. They called it old-fashioned, outdated, a myth. But here's the truth. In a quiet clinic on the outskirts of Beijing, I met a doctor, a traditional Chinese medicine master in his 80s, who treats aging men with the same secret passed down for over 2,000 years. And what shocked me wasn't just how well it worked, but how much science finally supports it. If you're over 50 and struggling with performance, energy, or blood flow, this ancient remedy might be the turning point. So stay with me. This might be the most important 10 minutes you spend all week. Part 1. The Forgotten Wisdom of Chinese Medicine. Let's start with a hard truth. Modern medicine has done some amazing things. Emergency surgeries, antibiotics, high-tech scans. But when it comes to aging men and their everyday health, especially intimacy, the system has failed us. You walk into the doctor's office at 60 and say, "Doc, I'm feeling tired. My drive is low. Things aren't working like they used to." And what do you hear? That's just normal for your age. Here's a prescription. Take it when you need it. Try to relax. Maybe it's stress. In other words, Band-Aid advice. No one asks about your circulation. No one checks your diet, your sleep, your stress levels, or your lifestyle. And almost no one looks at your entire body as one system. But traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM, does. It doesn't treat symptoms, it restores balance. In Chinese philosophy, your health isn't just blood and bones. It's your energy, your qi, your fire, your yang, your resilience, your kidney essence. Now stay with me here because this is critical. In Chinese medicine, your sexual vitality is directly tied to your kidneys. Not the urine part, but your energy bank. When you're young, your kidneys are strong, like roaring furnaces. But as you age, stress, poor food, toxins, and modern life drain them. That's why so many men feel like they're running on fumes at 60. And no pill fixes that. Because the issue isn't just blood flow. It's your energy source that's flickering. And this is where the ancient masters focused their treatment. They didn't look at intimacy struggles as an isolated problem. They saw it as a signal, a red flag that your internal fire was weakening. And instead of forcing an erection with chemicals, they stoked the fire back to life through herbs, through breath work, through circulation practices, through food and emotional balance. It's a different way of thinking, and for many men over 60, it works when nothing else does. That's why this episode is so important. We're not selling snake oil. We're unpacking real, time-tested remedies from a culture that's been healing men for thousands of years. So let's dive into the ancient formula they've used for centuries, the one I personally saw bring real results to real men. Let me ask you something personal. When was the last time you woke up, looked down, and felt like yourself? I'm not talking about pills, not a temporary fix, not a gimmick. I'm talking about the real you. The man who once had energy humming through his body like electricity. The man who felt strong, ready, and confident without needing a blue pill to show up. If that feels like a distant memory, or if you've silently started avoiding intimacy because something just doesn't work the way it used to, let me tell you something powerful. It's not your age, it's your circulation. You see, What they don't teach you on TV is that your penis is a precision blood vessel, and when blood doesn't flow, nothing happens. You can have perfect hormones, perfect desire, but if your arteries are stiff, clogged, or inflamed, it's like trying to blow up a balloon with a pinhole in the hose. Most men don't know this, but the first real sign of heart disease is often a weak or missing erection. Why? Because the arteries in your groin are smaller and more fragile than the ones in your chest, and they're the first to suffer when circulation drops. Death starts in the groin, I always say, because poor flow there is a whisper from your heart, warning you about something deeper. Ron was 64, a retired fireman. Strong build, active lifestyle. But for nearly 2 years, he avoided intimacy, not because he didn't want it, but because he couldn't follow through. He kept saying, "Doc, I just don't feel like a man anymore." We ran a test, a penile Doppler ultrasound. His internal pudendal artery, the main blood vessel to the groin, was over 80% narrowed. No medication was helping, and he refused to take another pill. So we changed everything. We focused on real food, Chinese blood flow herbs, targeted movement, and lifestyle medicine. And within 90 days, Ron was back. Back in his marriage, back in his body, and back in his confidence. That's the power of restoring blood flow naturally. If you're finding this message helpful so far, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and tap that notification bell. We're on a mission to help men over 50 reclaim their vitality without pills or shame, and your support helps us keep this movement alive. Type 1 in the comments if you believe every man deserves a second chance at strength. New research shows that over 70% of men over 60 suffer from reduced pelvic blood flow. But most never know it, because nobody talks about it. We've normalized decline. We've normalized just take a pill. And that silence is costing marriages, relationships, and mental health. But what if we flip the script? What if instead of treating the symptom, we fix the system? That's exactly what this episode is about. In the next section, I'm going to show you the ancient Chinese herbal toolkit that's been helping men for over 1,000 years, including a few modern upgrades that are changing the game for men over 60. We're just getting warmed up. So now that we understand the why, let's talk about the how. For centuries, Chinese medicine has relied on specific herbs not just to boost blood flow, but to nourish the root energy of a man, the kidneys, the liver, and the heart, which together control your vitality and performance. Let's go deeper into these powerhouse herbs. 1. Horny goatweed, epimedium. The natural switch. This herb gets all the attention, and for good reason. The Chinese called it yin-yang hou, meaning balance of yin and yang. It was originally discovered when farmers noticed their goats acting, well, a little frisky after eating a particular wild plant in the hills. But here's what's incredible. It's not just a folktale. Modern science has shown that horny goatweed contains icariin, a compound that increases nitric oxide, the very molecule responsible for relaxing blood vessels and allowing strong, steady blood flow. It doesn't force the body like pills do. It supports what's already there. And it also supports testosterone levels, energy, and even mental sharpness, all essential for men over 50. But remember, the key is purity and dosage. Most over-the-counter blends are either too weak or mixed with fillers. Look for standardized extract with at least 10% icariin for real benefits. 2. He Shou Ru, the rejuvenator. This might be the most mystical herb in all of Chinese medicine. He Shou Ru, also known as Fo Ti, was used by ancient emperors to restore youth, darken hair, and bring back their intimate energy. It's rich in zinc, iron, and antioxidants that help the liver and kidneys function at their peak. But it goes even deeper. He Shou Ru is known to rebuild Jing, your deep life essence. If Qi is your energy, Jing is the battery, and He Shou Ru recharges it. In men, depleted Jing often shows up as fatigue, low drive, brain fog, or slow recovery. Rebuilding that reserve gives you more strength, better sleep, and yes, stronger intimacy. I've seen men in their 70s take this herb consistently and report feeling 15 years younger. Not overnight, but over weeks of steady use. Again, go for a processed root extract, not raw, That's the traditional method that activates its benefits. 3. Ginseng, the performance root. You've probably heard of ginseng, but Chinese medicine takes it to another level. This isn't just a pick-me-up herb. It's a foundation builder. 10x ginseng, especially red ginseng, increases oxygen uptake, balances blood sugar, and improves adrenal function, all of which are tied to your ability to perform when it matters. It's especially helpful for men with chronic fatigue, stress-related performance issues, weak circulation. What makes ginseng powerful is that it's adaptogenic. It meets your body where it is and brings it back into balance. In Chinese philosophy, it's often used to tonify the yang, which, in plain terms, means it helps light the internal fire again. I met Mr. Li when I was traveling through southern China. He was 67, vibrant, full of energy, and had the posture of a 40-year-old. He swore by a simple tonic: ginseng tea every morning, he shou wu at night, and a drop of horny goatweed extract in his evening soup. He said, "I don't chase women anymore, but my wife still smiles every night." When I asked how long he'd been taking it, he replied, "Since I was 50. I prepare now so I don't fall apart later." That's the secret here. Chinese medicine is proactive, not reactive. It helps you build strength before things break down. Let's get one thing straight. Blood flow is king. No matter what anyone tells you, testosterone, libido, desire, none of it matters if blood isn't moving into the right places at the right time. And here's the good news. You don't need pills to make it happen. You need to unblock the traffic jam in your arteries. Move like a man, not a couch. Sitting is the new smoking. When you sit for hours, you're folding your arteries in half, especially the internal pudendal artery that feeds your groin. Think of it like stepping on a hose. The water stops flowing. Same thing happens inside your body. And worse, the blood gets sticky and your vessels lose flexibility. So how do we fix it? Start with pelvic-friendly movement. Just 10 to 15 minutes of walking twice a day can dramatically improve nitric oxide levels, the molecule responsible for making you stand up proud. Even better? Add these. Heel-to-toe walks boost blood flow to legs and groin. Glute bridges activates pelvic floor. Toe raises stimulate circulation from the feet up. These might sound simple, but simplicity is powerful. And it's the daily repetition that reconditions your arteries. So you now understand the importance of blood flow. But here's the question older men often ask me: "Dr. Smith, can I actually reverse clogged arteries? Or is it too late for me?" And I look them right in the eye and say, yes, you can absolutely start clearing them, starting today. Let's be honest. Most men over 60 are walking around with arteries that are partially closed. They feel it in their legs, in their lower energy, and in the bedroom. But most never connect the dots. So in this part, we'll show you how to reclaim your circulation, naturally, without pills. Step 1. Know your numbers. The silent red flags. You can't fix what you don't measure. Ask your doctor to check these markers: triglycerides, HDL, good cholesterol, LDL particle size, C-reactive protein, inflammation marker, fasting insulin, and A1C to catch prediabetes. 3. Ginkgo biloba, famous for memory, but just as powerful for blood flow. Ginkgo increases blood circulation to the brain and the pelvis. It also supports nerve sensitivity, helping you respond more fully. If I could only give a man 3 natural ingredients to reclaim performance, it would be horny goat reed, ginseng, and ginkgo, taken consistently in therapeutic doses. But remember, herbs are not quick fixes. They're part of a daily rebuilding process. They restore what time and stress have broken down. Why? Because prediabetes and inflammation are the #1 silent causes of arterial stiffness, and they attack the arteries that supply your groin faster than anywhere else. 72% of men with erectile issues also show signs of prediabetes or hidden inflammation. Step 2. Fix your flow from the inside out. There's a natural process your body uses to keep arteries flexible. It's called endothelial repair. But guess what blocks it? Too much sugar. processed seed oils, canola, soybean, corn, chronic stress, sedentary behavior. So what works instead? Fasting for 12 to 14 hours overnight. This gives your arteries a chance to heal and flush out waste. Omega-3 fats from wild fish or algae. These reduce plaque buildup and help blood glide more smoothly. Citrus peel and polyphenols, found in lemons, oranges, and red grapes. These clean up oxidative stress and help your blood vessels breathe again. There was George, age 66, the man who reversed it. George walked into my office exhausted. He had poor performance, cold legs, and was told he needed medication, or else. But George was stubborn, in a good way. He cut out processed foods, started walking daily, used beetroot powder, ginseng, and omega-3s. In 90 days, his morning energy returned. His legs didn't feel numb anymore. And best of all, he called me and said, "Doc, my wife just gave me a hug I haven't felt in years." That's the power of addressing circulation at the root. Rebuilding morning vitality after 60. Let's get real for a second. When you were 25, waking up with strong circulation was automatic. Your blood flowed effortlessly. You didn't have to think about it. But after 50, especially 60, that morning vitality becomes hit or miss, or disappears entirely. And most men, they blame age. They blame stress. They even blame their partner. But I'll tell you something. It's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. Because your body can bounce back. You just need to give it the raw ingredients to restore what time has worn down. Let's break it down. The hormone circulation loop. You've probably heard of testosterone. But what you might not know is that your circulatory health directly affects your hormone production, and vice versa. Here's how it works. Poor blood flow to the testes. Testosterone tanks. Low testosterone? You get weaker blood vessels, less nitric oxide, and slower blood flow. It's a vicious cycle. But the great news, when you boost blood flow, your hormone levels can normalize naturally without risky injections or sketchy pills. Let's get practical. Here are a few routines I give my patients to reboot their vitality. 1. Leg first walking before breakfast. Your legs are your largest muscle group. Walk for just 10 minutes in the morning, barefoot if possible. Why? Because that pumps blood from your feet to your pelvis, like a built-in morning activation switch. 2. Kegels for men. Yes, really. Squeeze the muscles you'd use to stop a urine stream. 10 reps, 3 sets, daily. These activate your pelvic floor, which supports erections and urinary control. Most men laugh when I mention this, until they try it and suddenly feel more control and pressure downstairs. 3. Magnesium before bed. Magnesium improves blood vessel dilation and calms the nervous system. 2 key factors for nighttime circulation. Try a glycinate or citrate version, not the cheap stuff. 4. Breathe like a younger man. Deep breathing boosts nitric oxide, especially through the nose. Try this. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 6. Repeat for 2 minutes before sleep. It sounds simple, but I've seen it change lives, especially in older men with sleep issues and low morning energy. Let me ask you a serious question. If your legs are getting weaker, colder, or stiffer by the month, what do you think is happening to your arteries underneath? Because by the time you feel those symptoms, your arteries have already been suffering in silence. But here's the amazing truth. Your legs aren't just tools for walking. They're the engine room of your circulation. And when you rebuild the strength, flexibility, and power in your legs, you're not just improving balance or avoiding falls. You're giving your heart a break. You're reversing arterial damage. You're boosting blood flow to your groin, brain, and heart. Why the legs are the launch pad for blood flow. Your legs have the largest veins and muscles in your body. When they're active, blood gets pushed upward against gravity. Your heart doesn't have to work as hard. Nitric oxide, the vessel relaxer, surges, and your pelvic circulation finally wakes up. Most men think they need a new pill, a new gadget, or a miracle smoothie, but many just need to start using their legs again. And no, I'm not talking about running marathons. I'm talking about daily, gentle movement that sends a signal. Hey arteries, we're not done yet. What you can start doing today. Yes, today. Here's my 3-part leg recovery routine. Safe for men over 60. 1. Heel-to-toe walks, 5 minutes daily. Walk slowly across your room. Roll from your heel to your toe. Feel the muscles engage. This boosts your calf pumps, which drives circulation back up to your pelvis and heart. 2. Seated leg extensions, 10 reps per leg. Sit on a chair. Straighten one leg out in front of you. Hold for 3 seconds. Lower slowly. Do 2 sets per leg. Why? This strengthens the quadriceps, which are like a second heart for older men. 3. Wall sits or supported squats. 30 seconds to start. Lean against a wall. Slide down until your thighs are parallel to the floor, or as low as comfortable. Hold. Breathe. This activates the entire leg chain, glutes, hamstrings, calves, without needing a gym. Your legs can save your life. If your legs are cold, if they're going numb or cramping at night, it's not aging, it's not bad luck. It's your body waving a red flag. But now you have a choice. You can keep ignoring it, or you can start rebuilding today. Because the moment you rebuild strength in your legs, you rebuild circulation to your brain, your heart, your manhood. You rebuild you. Gentlemen, if this video opened your eyes, do this now. Subscribe to the channel. It helps us get this message to more men who need it. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next life-changing episode. Share this with a brother, a father, a friend, someone who's been quiet about their struggles. And if this resonated, type 1 in the comments to say, "I'm taking back control." Or type 2 if you've got questions, and we'll answer them personally. This is Dr. Luke Smith from Stronger After 50, reminding you it's never too late to rebuild from the legs up.